friends, I'm Syed Mahmood on TRENDZ NOVA. Today's topic is how to tell a story. Okay? Well, you know, a very useful skill in English is to tell a story or an anecdote. And what are anecdotes? Well, anecdotes are short stories about something that happened to you or someone you know. Well, of course, here we are not going to tell you about traditional stories that begin with once upon a time there lived a king, blah 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 blah. Okay? Well, here particularly we are going to learn to convey your past events in words. Now think about the situations in which you can tell a story. When you are talking about your past to your friend, or maybe you are giving details about the past events, such as maybe what happened during your job interview, or maybe what happened during a party, or maybe what happened during your trip. So these are all the past events that you are talking about. So of course, these are stories, right? So let's see how we begin a story. A very important question. Please concentrate and see the entire video. Now before we begin to tell a story, it is important for you to link your ideas together. Keep on linking your ideas. Otherwise you cannot be a good storyteller, because this is very important. So link your ideas, or you link your ideas, you sequence them one by one, sequence them, just like in movies, scene after scene, scene by scene. And always keep your story short and dramatically simple. Okay? So let's have a look. How would you begin a story? Now certain words that can help you to begin your story are firstly, these are the starters. Firstly, first of all, or to start off with. Now maybe you are talking to someone and you say, hey, you know what? It reminds me of telling you what happened during that party yesterday. Okay? So this is the way you start, or maybe this is the way you start your conversation, and then you can say or use words like firstly, like, you know, we went to John's house for the party, or maybe first of all, for example, first of all I opened the closet and removed my clothes, or to start off with. Okay? This gives a start to your story. So these are appetizers. Okay? Then how would you continue your story? Then you need lot of words, the subject, to continue. Okay? Words that would link your story would be then, after that, or next. So you can continue like this. I'll give you an example. Okay? So as I started my story by saying, well, firstly we went to John's house for a party. Firstly we went to John's house for a party, and then we started drinking. Okay? Here I am linking the stories, right? Then comes interruptions, or new elements that are added to your story. And the words that you use to add new elements or to interrupt your story are suddenly or unexpectedly. Suddenly or unexpectedly. How would you go about your story? Well, first we went to John's house for a party, and then we started drinking. we were having a great time, everybody was enjoying the drink, dancing, partying, and then suddenly Amy fell off the bar. Okay, so here there is an interruption to your story. Amy fell off the bar. So what happened next? So suddenly Amy fell off the bar. Maybe she was too drunk. Okay, and then how would you end the story? Because that is the most important part of the story. It is important to end your story correctly, and the words that would help you to end your story are finally, eventually, or in the end. The climax of a movie is very important. If the climax of a movie is not important, is not good, then the movie will desperately fail. You know this fact. Okay, friends? So you can say suddenly Amy fell off the bar and we all rushed to her, and eventually we had to pick her up and take her to our house. So that kind of spoiled our party, okay? So this is the past event or a past event of a party that I am describing to you guys. So this is how the story goes about. And now let's have a look at the tenses you use to tell your story. Now the tenses that we use to tell a story are most commonly the past tense. But we also use present tense, especially when you are telling a joke. So usually when we are telling a joke, we prefer saying it in the present tense. Also, when you really want to give a very dramatic effect or a narrative effect, you use the present tense. For example, you are describing a scene from a movie. You can say, oh, she walks into the room and the door behind her shuts. So I am giving a very dramatic effect to the story, and that's why I am using the present tense. Okay? But as I said, usually when we tell stories, we use the past forms. Okay? Now we use the past simple. When we are telling a story in sequence, one by one, scene after scene like that. So I pack my bags, I double check my reservation, and I call for a cab. Okay? So I am going in a chronological order. That's exactly the reason why I am using past simple form. Right? As I said, for example, I removed my clothes from the closet and gave it to the laundry and picked it up the next morning. Okay? So you are going in a sequence and you are using the past simple form. Then we have past continuous. Now, how do we use past continuous? When you are maybe giving a background to a story, okay? So for example, the sun was shining, past continuous, was shining. Present continuous is shining, past continuous was shining. So background, I am giving the background. The sun was shining bright, okay? We were driving down the motorway and then suddenly there was a dog under our car, sport dog, okay? Here we are giving the background, okay? Or we are, showing a progress in the story, and that's why we are using past continuous form, okay? So these are the tenses that you would supposed to use when you talk about a past event. And now, of course, do remember that you are telling a story and not giving a lecture. So it's important for you to use some words, okay? Use words such as, it was amazing, or it was wonderful, fantastic, fabulous. Okay, use some nice words rather than just saying it was nice or it was bad. Okay, so you can use words like amazing, fantastic, terrifying, petrifying, horrible. Okay? These are certain words that you can add. So when you are telling a story, you can always exaggerate also. Okay? Right. So, as I just said, please do not make it sound like a lecture. Because you are not giving a lecture, you are telling a story. Use better words always, so that you can come off in a very confident manner. I am sure you will do a very good job and tell colorful stories to your girlfriends or to your boyfriends and win their hearts. And I'm just kidding, and I will see you soon in the next lesson. Till then, you take care.